Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multvierse Walmart exclusive gold label Shazam. I want to give a big shout out to my boy Toy Hunters Collective from Instagram. He hooked me up with the two newest Walmart exclusive gold label figures, which is a big relief, as now I don't have to stop at Walmart every single day on the way home from work and come home empty-handed. It's about time they gave us a modern comic Shazam, another hero to round out the modern Justice League. A year or two ago, they made an infected Shazam, and I can't believe that would be the only version of Shazam they made. Why would they lead with that thing? I personally think this should be the wide release, and something like the infected Shazam, that should be the gold label Walmart exclusive. So let's go and check out the packaging. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts, McFarlane toys, ages 12 plus, McFarlane Gold Label Collection, DC Multiverse Shazam. Here he is in the package. He has a display stand, collector's card, some lightning effects, and two alternate hands, totaling 4 interchangeable hands. One side of the package, Shazam from DC's Rebirth. Other side simply says Shazam. At the bottom, got a bunch of credits, and there is a barcode, in case that helps anybody. And on the back side, here's an image of Shazam from the Rebirth comics. So with no further ado, let's open him up. And I want to give another big shout out to my boy Toy Hunters Collective from Instagram. He hooked me up with the two newest Walmart exclusive gold label figures. Walmart exclusives are my least favorite. You can almost never get them off the app. The stores almost never have them. You can't track them down with a barcode very easily. Target exclusives, no problem. I got that down to a science. But Walmart exclusives, just luck of the draw. And they always seem to hit my area of the country dead last. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He does come with two lightning effects, two alternate hands totaling 4 interchangeable hands, a display stand, and a collector's card. But before we take a look at those, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Shazam from DC's Rebirth. This is a normal, comic, modern version of Shazam, and that pleases me greatly. Shazam has had a big push since the New 52, and he's typically a member of the main Justice League. Shazam's real name is Billy Batson. He was an orphan. He ended up meeting the wizard Shazam, who gave him his powers. His powers are very similar to Black Adam. So let's take a look at him. Starting with his head here, he's in his modern outfit, which typically has a hood, but I much prefer the version with the hood down, so I'm happy with what they gave us. Face looks decent, looks like just a regular guy. You could probably even use this head for a Bruce Wayne custom. You can see the little clamps where his capes can attach. White flowing cape, he's got the hood, but it's just hanging down back there, and I prefer it like that. Of course, he has a signature lightning Shazam bolt here. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. I believe it's the same body from the infected Shazam and the Endless Winter Black Adam. 2 fists here, gold boots, nice texturing on the suit. Overall, pretty nice figure. Very happy to add him to the Justice League roster. And just a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Looks very nice. Like I said before, I think this would make a pretty nice Bruce Wayne head. Minor observation about his neck here, because I use the existing body, put a different head on there. Kind of a noticeable gap between the neck and the body there. And then, here's the figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Also wanted to make one comment about the figure. His cape is huge, he's very top heavy, it's kind of hard to get him to stand up. Cape is very heavy and he likes to fall backwards. Now let's take a look at his accessories, and let's start off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand. Typical McFarlane stand, black perfect circle. It says DC on the bottom. It's got one peg for the pegals on his feet. Very thin, very basic. They sure could have included a flight stand to fit this guy. Here's his collector's card. As you can see, it's an image of Shazam from the Rebirth comics. He's like a big kid sitting on the side of a top building. He's got his lunch sack there, so one packed for him. Shazam from DC's Rebirth. I do appreciate when they give us an image of the source material. I like they're going back to that instead of giving us an image of the action figure. On the back side, there is a description. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause now. Now let's look at his hands. He has 4 of them, 2 fisted and 2 open hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists, which are 100% the same fists that came with the Page Puncher Superman, which looked giant on the Superman, but looked pretty good on Shazam. And even though his fists don't look too big for him, he has these other open hands, and they are way too big for him. Look at these giant things. And here's lightning effects. They're made from a semi-transparent blue plastic. They're going to wrap around his arms. They are 100% the same accessories that came with the Justice League Endless Winter Black Adam, which actually makes perfect sense. Here's Shazam with the effects attached, just standing there with his hands charged with lightning. And here he is, getting ready to launch some lightning bolts at the enemy. Now they've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories. Now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, he's standing at about 7.1 inches tall, which is going to translate to about 18 centimeters. Now let's check out his articulation. Start with his head here. Of course, it can rotate from side to side. He can look up about that far, down about that far, not too much there. Don't really get a lot of range of motion at the bottom of his head, top of the neck. As I'm moving it around, the bottom of the neck, which really is an articulation point, is moving a lot more than the actual head himself. Can't tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint, goes out a little bit more than 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got a butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest area, increasing the range of motion and covering up that large gap. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbow that goes all the way in, although looks kind of rough from the side there. Wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. Ball joint his torso, rotate around, go forward and back. Another ball joint his waist, rotate around, forward and back, giving him pretty wide range of motion in his torso area. But as you lean it, you can expose that gap in his waist. So just be careful how you pose him. Legs, almost complete as a splits. Not a ball joint, but a similar type concept. Rotation is pretty much non-existent. His legs go forward about that far. Back, not too much. Double jointed knees below that. Then his ankle here. Forward and back. Rotate, tilt, rock, and toe articulation. His ankles and his wrists are done in the old school ball joints. This figure is a reuse from the older design of Black Adam and Shazam. Here's Billy Batson walking down the city streets. He hears some commotion, looks around the corner to see what's going on. He sees a few different street thugs terrorizing this young woman. Billy comes around the corner, yells at the thugs, "Hey, stop that! Leave her alone!" They all just start laughing at him. Then he screams, "Shazam!" Now as he tells them to leave her alone, they take him a little more seriously. He takes the first 2 thugs, bangs their heads together, knocking them out. The next thug throws the woman onto the floor, pulls out a gun, and threatens Shazam. The thug starts shooting at the Shazam. He projects his lightning, taking out the last thug. The woman approaches Shazam. "Oh, thank you, saved my life. I'll return the favor. I'll do anything you'd like." Shazam replies, "Well, I'd like some gummy worms and a new Xbox controller." Here's Shazam, flying in the sky, above the city. And here he is, sitting on the corner of a rooftop, eating a sack lunch. Now let's check him out, next to some other action figures, starting off with some other Shazam figures. I actually only have one other Shazam figure, at least normal Shazam. This is a Mattel DC Multvierse Shazam from the film. You can see just how much inspiration the film's costume took from the Rebirth look. Very similar. And now, here he is, next to a couple of Dr. Sivana figures. On the left by DC Direct, and on the right, a movie one by Mattel. Now let's check him out, next to some other McFarlane DC Multivierse figures, Here he is with the other McFarlane Shazam figure. This is the infected Shazam, pretty much an evil version of Shazam. Now, way back when this figure came out, I looked at his body and I thought to myself, they could very easily make a regular Shazam, use the base body, get rid of some of the extras, and that's exactly what they did. The boots, they're definitely different, but above the boots, the legs are exactly the same. You can see the texturing and the same parts, the smooth parts the same. Probably the sort of diaper piece is different. The Shazam logo is different, but beyond that, what's behind it is the same. Once again, the textured, smooth. Looks like the arms are going to be the same as well. Different forearm pieces attached. So it looks like it's the same base body buck. Here's Shazam, next to the Justice League Endless Winter Black Adam. He's probably the best Black Adam to go up against this comic Shazam. Same height, both from the comics. I like it. This Black Adam is also using the same base body. Actually has a lot more shared parts with Shazam than the other Shazam does. You can see the boots appear to pretty much be the same. Yeah. The legs are the same. The crotch diaper piece is the same. The logo is a little bit different. I mean, the wrist gauntlets, they are 100% the same figure with the exception of the cape, the head, the logo, hell, even the hands are the same. So essentially all three of these figures use the same base body buck. And you know what? It works. I don't look at Black Adam and Shazam here and think, oh, those are the same figures. I mean, now that I put it out, I kind of do a little bit. But for the most part, I think it works. They look great. They look different. Shazam even somehow manages to look bigger than Black Adam, even though they're exactly the same. Here's Shazam, next to the Page Puncher Black Adam. This is a pretty nice comic Black Adam. He's in his armored look. Head sculpt's nice, but far too small. Then, here's Shazam, next to a couple of Black Adam movie Black Adam figures, played by Dwayne Johnson. Here are all of the McFarlane DC Multvierse Shazam family characters. The next one to come out is going to be the black and white color variant of the Page Puncher Black Adam. There's also a Black Adam with Throne for the movie, although I don't know where that's going to be sold at yet. And you best believe we're going to be getting Shazam and the Shazam family from the upcoming film, if it ever stops getting delayed. Here's the Rebirth Shazam, next to the Action Comics 1000 Superman. Shazam and Superman have a lot in common, although they're still quite different characters. And here he is, next to the Rebirth Superman. And I know this is not the movie Shazam, but I really hope eventually they get the movie Shazam and the Henry Cavill Superman to interact. And not just with a weird Henry Cavill's face off screen, not using the actor type cameo. And even though this Shazam is not a classic version, he fits in pretty good with the other classic heroes. The costume is not that different. Here's the Shazam, next to all the other normal, modern, Rebirth, Justice League heroes. The biggest one absent is going to be Wonder Woman. McFarlane has not given us a normal comic Wonder Woman yet. Add in the 1984 movie Wonder Woman, and you kind of have a complete Justice League basic lineup. That is my favorite Wonder Woman, as she is the closest to the iconic look of Wonder Woman out there. The next biggest omission, I would say, at this point, is probably Cyborg. He got a really big push in the New 52 and on as well. Add in a couple more Green Lanterns, Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. And here's the Justice League extended family. Add in some more video game and movie superheroes, and you've got a pretty impressive Justice League and Justice Society lineup. Now let's check him out, next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multvierse figures. Here he is, next to the two newest Mega figures, Bane and Necron. And here he is, next to Dark Flash. This is the other gold label Walmart exclusive that's popping up pretty much at the same time as Shazam. Then, next to the previous two gold label Walmart exclusives, Azrael in Batman armor, and Parallax Hal Jordan. These are both fairly new, and still really sought after. Here's Shazam, next to the Rebirth Deathstroke, and the Court of Owl's Talon. And here he is, next to the Speeding Bullets Batman, and Batrocidus. Then, with the Blue Beetle and Booster Gold 2-pack. Here's Shazam, next to the Future State Superman, the Infinite Frontier Scarecrow, and the New 52 Static. And here he is, next to the McFarlane Toy Store exclusive, gold label pink variants of the Arkham Knight Red Hood and Scarecrow. Then, with the first wave of Page Punchers, and Series 2 went up for pre-order today. And now, standing next to the Black Adam movie wave, here's Shazam, with the Blackest Night wave, collective build Atrocitus, and here he is, next to Martian Manhunter, both Classic and Rebirth. Then, with all three versions of Lex Luthor in his power suit. Then, next to the Target exclusive Crime Syndicate, Ultraman, Superwoman, and Owlman. And now, next to both versions of the Future State Dark Detective Batman. Here's Shazam, next to Duke Thomas from Tales of the Dark Multiverse, and the Batman Who Laughs, dressed as Batman. And finally, here he is, next to both versions of the Zarnar Batman, and all three variations of the Infinite Frontier Robin. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane figure, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the large action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, with some more McFarlane Toys, these are from different various video game properties. And now, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some DST, or Diamond Select toys. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here he is, with some NECA figures. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, with some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collective figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is, with some Maplex figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, with some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, here he is, with some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. Overall, it's a very nice Shazam figure. A little bit top heavy with the cape. A lot of reuse. His accessories, also reuse, are very appropriate for him. Sculpt and paint job are excellent. This base buck works fine. Face looks great. I like the cape. His articulation is everything you would expect from a McFarlane DC Multvierse figure, but with a little bit of a step backwards, as you're using an older mold. If I were to rate this figure, I'm going to give him a very solid 7.5 out of 10. Enjoying him a lot. He's an iconic, modern, normal-looking Shazam, and that's exactly what we need. Bring on Wonder Woman Cyborg, and we'll have the main heavy hitters. Then we're going to need stuff like Green Arrow and Hawkman. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.